again, we're a technology to help you be more successful, but everything we're teaching this challenge is free. Like the knowledge is free, the accountability is free, the stuff we're teaching in terms of how to go do this, you can do it with the old fashioned way with pen and paper, and you can just go get it done. Like, but more than anything else, like we're obviously, I'm a little biased in saying like, hey, I'm really believe in what we're doing, but on our end, man, like we really hang our hat on our customer reviews and ratings, and we're the highest rated mobile app out there for real estate investors. So we really focus on this, but by no means do you have to go with Deal Machine. Like, get out there and go use this knowledge and take action and get out there and make things happen. So excited to give everybody kind of the framework for these 30 days, help you hold each other accountable. Today we're going to check in on how you did week 1 on that homework. If this is your first time on here or seeing this, that's totally okay. We do have a recap. Pay attention to your emails as well, like whatever email you registered for this webinar. If you're on our Zoom line right now, I'm going to be sending out emails with kind of recaps and pro tips and things like that. If you're not in that, make sure you're in the Wholesaling Houses for Real Facebook group there, Zach's group, because that's where he's going to be posting, things about the challenge, giveaways, the replays on his YouTube channel too. So really try to find anywhere Zach is online. We're going to be sharing this out over time. So
yeah, I get asked all the time, guys. This is going to be on the Zach and YouTube channel, the tag on here. So that's where you guys want to see the replay if you missed it.
Perfect. There we go. So we've got the replay going there. Again, I'm going to recap some of that for today as well. Feel free to jump in the Q&A for this if you're on the Zoom line and ask questions there. We're going to be able to try to interact with people that way and take questions and really, help you meet those goals of where you're at right now in the challenge. It's been awesome, Zach. I've been so inspired. Like, I went in your Facebook group. These are just some, like, I spent 30 seconds and already found this many posts of people talking about that accountability post from last week. Like, the homework last week was to go add 100 leads by driving for dollars, by going out and finding fixer-upper properties. And we've got people holding up sheets of paper. We got people screenshotting the Deal Machine app. We've got people on Google Maps. We got people all over the place showing that they did that homework. So it's awesome to see people get fired up, taking action. I know last week we gave away a free Deal Machine account for a year, which is worth over $700 for the full year. So that was awesome to do a giveaway there. We had somebody land a deal already, Jason over here. I reached out to him, would love to feature him on our YouTube channel too, but he already talked about in his post that he landed a deal from this. So it's awesome to see people get out there, take action, hold themselves accountable and post this to the group, man. So it's got me fired up.
Dude, that's the point. Like, if just one person changed their life and got their deal from this challenge, that's sort of the point, right? And Jason did it. So like, he was already the first one off the bat, and that was 3 or 4 days in. So
yeah, right here.
It's there,
Love
man.
it, man. It's awesome. So, in general, I know we talked about this last time, but this is such an exciting time to be doing this. Like, we're in at this point in time where it's going to be one of the biggest wealth generating opportunities of the last decade plus. Real estate investors, in times of a downturn or in times of any kind of slowdown whatsoever, we become more valuable. We're more valuable. We're providing more solutions to problems for people. And in a time of any kind of downturn, there are more problems that people deal with. So coming in and being able to, go in and be able to offer speed and convenience and cash and anything like that to really solve problems for people who are in a situation where they just either anywhere from they don't want to deal with a property anymore to, hey, they need to get out of that property. Like, coming in and being able to solve that problem, there are more of those out there now than there have been in the last decade. Now is the time to be thinking about this. Like, now is the time to get into this. We only have a couple of those chances in our professional lives. Like, there's only a couple slowdowns typically, usually it could be every 10 to 15 years, in terms of being able to come in and have this window and really be even more valuable than before as an investor. And now is the time to step up and get proactive, where I know a lot of people might fade away in times of any kind of downturn. So now is the time, the opportunity to step up, do things that other people won't, do things that other people won't, from a standpoint of, being able to stand out and have less competition to go against. And, I know we're excited, Zach. I know you talk about this on your channel all the time too. So just want to get people a little bit fired up here this morning too.
It's still the best. When's the best time getting into wholesaling? 10 years ago, right? But what's the second best time right now?
Right.
Like in any market. And yeah, you are right. This is probably gonna be the most important time for wholesaling real estate. And I've said this forever, but truthfully, it doesn't matter what market, right? If you can find ugly houses and have conversations with those sellers and make offers, you're going to do well. And there's no better way than just going out there and going after it, right? So
yep. Yeah, and that's what this challenge is all about, man. Like we're getting out there. Like I said, most people, they get stuck because they don't know where or how to go find that great deal, where or how to get started, where how to get out there and go start talking to sellers and how to make that first deal happen. That's what this 30-day challenge is all about. It's giving you that playbook. It's helping you get out there and know, okay, how do I start to find really motivated sellers? And how do I start reaching out to them? And how do I follow up? How do I kind of do all the, a proven, simple process to be able to go out and land that first deal and land many deals after that. So it's been awesome to see the response from people. I shared a screenshot here. If you're just jumping on, I shared screenshots from a ton of people who have already been taking action on this from the first couple, first week of the challenge. Had somebody already land a deal for, going through this. So, our goal here today is to hold each other accountable, to give you that playbook, make it simple and straightforward and easy to go do it. And again, whether you're using Deal Machine to make it easier or you're getting out there and you're using pen and paper, regardless, like take this action, take, the steps that we give you today and from, last time as well. And every Monday, we're going to be doing this and go make things happen. So I'll start off, I know I'll share again kind of the framework of this challenge really quick, make sure we really set this up, Zach, and then we can jump into the training for this week too.
I love it.
Awesome. We already had, I mentioned we already had somebody, land that first deal, but we've had people like Ryan Haywood here, who was in St. Joseph, Missouri, just north of Kansas City. We mentioned him last time, but very similar. He did a 30-day wholesale challenge in January 2020. 17 days in, he got his first deal under contract. And we were involved in that challenge too. Day 2 was go download Deal Machine. But he has been with us since then. He's done literally over 400 wholesale deals using the app since then. So he's got it's him and his wife in on it. He's got a few other people on his team now. We love inspiring people like this. The challenge format's great just because you're setting really specific, achievable goals that you got to go out and do the work to do, but you have other people holding you accountable to do it. And we want to give you the playbook today and the next 30 days on how to do what Ryan did and how to do what many people are doing right now in your Facebook group. So what that challenge is going to look like, let me go through this really quick here. The next 30 days, and we're on day 8 now, but every Monday is going to be a live training just like this. Last week, we touched on how to drive for dollars and how to virtual drive for dollars. We had David on our team, our CEO, come on and show you guys that. Today, I'm going to do a very quick recap of that for the people who missed it. If you saw it, it'll only be a couple minutes, so we'll go quick through that, but I want to make sure we cover that for everybody. On these live trainings, again, we're going to help you overcome your challenges. So we'll take Q&A from people. We'll give you that playbook, and then we'll give you homework on, hey, here's what to be doing over the next 7 days to keep going in this challenge, keep working toward that first deal. Midweek, we're going to be sharing this out. We share it out in the Facebook group, which, Zach, I don't know if you want to throw a link to that in the chat here. I know most people are probably already part of that if they're on here right now.
Yeah, I'll put that in there.
Awesome. So we'll be sharing out pro tips on the Facebook group. We'll be sharing out pro tips over email if you've registered for the Zoom, the Zoom webinar. So, we'll be sharing it out a couple different ways, but that's really to check in on your progress, to give you shortcuts, to give you pro tips on, hey, here's how to go out and, build that list, market that list, follow up with that list. And then on Fridays, we're doing these giveaways. The first one, we just did the drawing this morning. Somebody did their accountability post. Faith was her name. Somebody did her accountability post. She posted in the Facebook group. She commented on the Facebook post about the giveaway, and she won the drawing. So congrats to her. That's awesome that we've already did the kind of the first one of these. That was over $700 worth of free. It was a free deal machine account for a year in that giveaway. But we're going to be giving away all kinds of free stuff over the next still 3 more of those. So make sure to pay attention to the emails, to the Facebook group. And that's what we'll be continuously communicating with you guys for this. So is there anything there when it comes to the challenge format, Zach, you wanted to add before we jump into training? Or?
Yeah, there's like 50 more people trying to post the past hour on their accountability. So shout out to everyone that keeps posting, but I'll let you guys know if you didn't get the free deal machine, that's fine. There's more to go on here, but I'll tell you the free deal machine is pretty much the least of my concern on this challenge, because if you get your first deal and you make $10,000, that is 12 years of deal machine for free. Okay. Like the point is here, start taking the action and start doing it. Like, I would rather you be the person that gets their first deal than never win any of the prize. Like, the prizes are great. That's what gets a lot of people in really excited. But the point here is, if you do everything in this challenge, and I'm telling you, you should easily by the end of this challenge get 500 drawing for dollars leads. I think everybody should easily in a month get that. That will lead to most likely a bunch of appointments and a deal. Statistically, most people that get that will get a deal. And this can be a life-changing thing for you. 5, 10, 15, even $20,000 deal. And I'm always excited for it. The reason why I was so pumped up for this challenge is so many beginners out here, they get their head is where they lose out. Like, they get caught up in their head, like, what list should I pull? Should I list stack this? Should I look up the equity percentage? If it's an ugly house, drive and find it, and then contact the seller. That is the point of today. We're breaking down the marketing point of it today, but like, if you just find these ugly houses and market to them, stop overthinking it. And this is why so many people are becoming successful, because they're just not overthinking it.
Absolutely, man. I mean, that's the whole point, like you said, is to find that first deal. The giveaways are great. We love to help you guys out, and I'll even bribe you here later in this call on getting a little bit of a free giveaway too. But through all of this, man, like, the whole point is to help you go land that first deal. It's not only a life changer in terms of like you said, it could be, life changer financially, but just that mindset of knowing what's possible and what you can do and how you can get out there and kind of recreate what you just did is so empowering. So we love doing this, love being able to help power this with Zach. For the check-in this week, let's go in and check in about, hey, what should you have done that, for week 1? What is the goal to this point? What have people been posting about? What's that accountability post Zach's talking about? And it's 100 driving for dollars leads from week 1. It's, whether it be through, making a list inside Deal Machine, which I'll show you guys. I'll do the quick recap on the training here in just a minute. Whether it be you wrote down leads physically on a piece of paper, that's awesome too. We had people doing that. Whatever the method might be that you went out and you held yourself accountable and you added 100 leads to Deal Machine or in any way possible, or in whatever method you're using. If you take me a screenshot of that, and of course, the way I can reward this is if you have a Deal Machine account, right? But if you send me a screenshot of you hitting those 100 leads, we'll send you a $10 bonus inside your account. So we'll, just for being on this, just for watching this, just for actually taking action, we want to reward you and make you more successful and say, hey, let's make it so that you have even more marketing to work with, even more marketing to work with, especially with this timing of this training today. That's what we're going to dig into, what to do with those marketing credits. We'll send you $10 free right in there, which is a bunch of free skip traces, bunch of free postcards, all of that inside Deal Machine. So send that screenshot to me, just matt@dealmachine.com. And we're going to start there. Like, we want to hook you guys up, give you guys as much free stuff as possible. I know the reason why we made it 100 leads, like Zach mentioned, is that by the end of these 30 days, you will have enough leads inside your app that you should statistically, which we have this, we call it our first deal formula, but statistically, you will be to the point where within those couple hundred leads that you've added, you will have your, statistically likely your first deal in that group. So it's okay. You've taken that first step. You've added those leads. You've built that list. Now today we're going to dig into, okay, what do you do with that list? How do you actually get in touch with that seller? How do you actually start having that conversation with them and put yourself in position to actually land that first deal? So just wanted to bribe you guys a little bit here for showing up, for watching this, for taking action, for getting out there. Again, if you have a Deal Machine account, take a screenshot of those 100 leads that you've added to it, just email it to me and we'll hook you guys up with $10 right there. So
like, look at this. Katrina's got this. Got a, well,
trying to get in there. There we go.
She's got a list of 100 right here on her. Like, she just put up there.
Awesome.
She's doing it. And like, shout out to, like, she's like, okay, I got the list. What do I do now? Right. And so, like, this is the point today that, yes, I couldn't get through all the people I kept posting because they've been spending all week getting 100. So that's free though. Like, so like, how many skip traces you get the $10 can you get for that?
Oh man, I mean, that's over 500. It's probably close to 600. I'd have to do
skip traces.
Yeah, skip traces for free.
If you pull the 100, you're just basically you're skip tracing everybody in the challenge for free.
Yeah, from that first week. There we go. Yeah, yep. So
literally every lead you do when you go in Deal Machine, it's gonna be skip trace for free. Basically, if you email Matt there, I'm telling you, hey guys, this is insane. No other Driving for Dollars challenge has this, so I'm just telling everybody, go do it. That's amazing, man.
Yeah, man. So let me put it in the chat here for everybody too. Matt@dealmachine.com. Awesome. So,
and I'll tell you this, I found some
email. Hook you up.
There you go. There's some ugly houses. I told everybody to post the ugliest house on their 100, and there's some good ones there.
They listen.
There's some good ones
for sure, man. Well, awesome. Okay, cool. So, want to make sure we kind of laid everything out, caught everybody up on the challenge to date, know what's going on. Kind of this next step, again, I want to do that. I'll do a quick couple-minute recap of the week 1 training. If you missed it, again, it's on Zach's YouTube channel. One of them. Which one did you stream on last time? Was that?
It was Flip with Rick on the first one. Yeah. This one's going to be on the Zach one.
There we go. Okay, cool. So, you'll be able to find that replay there. Be in the Facebook group, and we're posting things like this already as well. But I wanted to go through and just show you guys, like, hey, last time we really talked about how do you build that list of motivated sellers, and really how do you earn that list of motivated sellers. You're earning a list because you're getting out there and you're doing something that, again, you can use Deal Machine to do it. We're a tool to make it more easier and save you time and money doing that. But you can do it on your own in any way possible. You can write down the addresses, what have you. But the goal is, hey, you want to go out there and earn the list, meaning that, hey, you went out, you got in your car, or we'll show you virtually too, if you don't have a car, if you're looking at a virtual market or a market that you're not physically in, but getting in your car and driving around and looking for those fixer-upper properties that, they've got a tarp on the roof, or they've got, gutters falling off, siding falling off, they've got really overgrown grass, they've got weeds growing through the concrete, they've got maybe they're more just outdated, it's got like a window AC unit, things like that. Maybe it's one example, I've used this a couple times, but our first hire, he found his first deal using Deal Machine, and it was a house that had Halloween decorations up, and it was like March. So it's just like things like that, where for whatever reason the property owner just isn't keeping up with it or isn't able to keep up with it. Physical distress like that, it's not easy to find in any other way without actually going out and earning that list, going out and looking for it yourself, or having somebody else, do it for you. And because of that, there are way, way less competitive leads. They're properties that have a way less likelihood of other people hitting them up and trying to get in touch with them and all that, because, you found that kind of diamond in the rough that you can't just go by pulling a list or anything anywhere. And then on top of that, they are the most motivated leads, because physical distress is the number one indicator of a motivated seller. Like, that is the number one indicator that, hey, this person might be looking to sell and might be dealing with some kind of situation that you can come in and solve that problem using speed, convenience, and cash, and trade that for a discount. So, your whole goal here, for week 1 was to go build that list. Let me show this off really quick. I can show it inside the Deal Machine app. Again, you can do this in a variety of ways. But being on the Deal Machine side, I can kind of give you some pro tips of what's most successful for our members first. So Zach, can you see the app here? Hopefully, just making sure.
Yep. Okay. It looks like the app inside because we did the training together, right? It looks just like the app on the phone.
Okay, cool. Yeah. This desktop, this is the desktop version, obviously, but the mobile version, just picture this, but shrunken down to a phone size. So, very, very similar. We do a deep dive. I know we did a really good, like hour-plus long demo on your channel too. So you can search.
Freewholesaling.com.
Yeah, there you go. freezewholesaling.com. Perfect. So we did that on there too. But to do that quick little recap here, you're looking for, like I said, signs of physical distress. When you jump into the app, it's as simple as, it'll lock onto your location. So you'll see a little blue dot pop up, just like you would in GPS, in really any location-based app. And as you drive down the street, it'll follow you down the street here, right? So you'll be able to see all these black dots or different properties around you. All of them are you can just simply click on it and see more information about that property, whether it's owner occupied. You can see, more contact info. You can see equity percentage, assessed value, sale date, sale price, more on the mortgage, things like info like that. So it's all at your fingertips right there. If you see a blue dot, you can see that it's had an MLS status within the last 12 months. So you can see this is sold within the last 12 months. You can see this was sold March of 2022, or that was the initial listing. You can see sold April 29th. So you can see, and that's for any state, whether you be in Texas, which is not a disclosure state or not. There's 13 or 14 of those out there. That's all within the app. So really simple and easy. You see the blue dot pop up. That's you driving down the street. You got black dots all around you. You can look up more info about that particular owner. You want to really see things like, hey, does it have any equity in the house, or when was it last sold, or what's the assessed value? So that way you can really figure out, like, hey, is this a property that might be have a little meat on the bone to be able to actually really wholesale and take a fee from that, be able to actually do much with it. So really use all that information to your advantage right there. Really, really simple and easy. If you unlock, I know we've got a few route tools that you can upgrade to, where we've got essentially, probably the two most powerful things would be our route tracking, which you'll see as you drive down the street, this would pop up a little green line behind you. And that would show you, like, hey, it helps you not double back on routes, because you can look at the map and see all the green lines popping up where you've been. And then, over time, they change colors. So it changes the yellow at 6 months, red at 12 months, really show you, hey, where have I driven? How long ago was that? Should I redrive certain areas? Where have I not driven yet? Really helps you save as much time as possible through all that. So that's with our route tools, as well as the highlights feature right here, which is this top left highlights button. And when you click on that, that's a great way to figure out, where to drive and what a really good lead looks like something really simple. I'll go in here and you can use any of these quick list, quick filter feature options, or you can come in here and create your own highlight. And something that I see our really successful members do is they'll come in here and say, hey, yeah, show me equity percentage, greater than, 30%, really kind of just give me a little bit of equity to work with and apply those filters. And that way, as you're driving down the street, you'll see, hey, is this if you see a physically distressed property, 6507, and it's also got that highlight on it, so that the equity is there, then like this is a really good lead. Like, you should be looking at this more closely, and then hit the add lead button on it. And when you do that, you'll see options come up to, like, you can really tag that lead and tag it as high priority and say, yeah, like, whenever I actually follow up with leads here, when I'm building my list like this, when I'm going out and I'm just tapping on these properties and hitting add lead to them and building my list this way, by finding the physical distress in real life and matching it to my phone right here, then I know if it's tagged high priority, hey, that's a lead that I should really look at and really look closer at and really focus on first when I reach out to, which we're going to cover today is how to market to them. So that's I would say that's one option is physical distress right there, driving around, driving for dollars. Really quick, one other thing we recapped for you, last Monday, is the virtual driving for dollars. So I'll spend 1 minute here covering that. Virtual, I saw somebody, at least one person in the group, mentioned that they didn't have a car, weren't in that market, wanted to virtually drive, wanted to find a way to get out there and start looking around that way. Here's a great option for you if you are in that situation where maybe you're in an area that you don't want to physically, or that you can't physically drive, or that you, again, don't have a car, or maybe you've got a day job and it's hard to drive around during the day and really see houses when it's easier to see them, or there could be a million reasons why to really come in and do that well, or need to do virtual driving for dollars. So if you're going to take this route, you just simply, let me show that again, simply in the top right corner, hit drive, let me expand this, click on anywhere in the map, and right away it'll show you the actual the Google images of that particular route or of that particular street image. And you can essentially click for dollars right here. You click around, you start looking, you click down the street, look at these properties. And if you see one, so you've got like a tarp on the roof here, or like, need some help in terms of gutters and things, like, if it looked like that, then hey, just hit add lead and you can build your list like that. Just, same exact way, tag it as high priority, tag it any way you like, really look at more information about about the owner. All the things that you would do on in the app while you're driving around, you can do that virtually as well from anywhere at any time. So you can look at that. And I would say the one pro tip there before I move on to is look at when that photo was taken. Yeah. Look at, this says May 2022. Most markets, major markets, Google goes through at least once a year and updates those photos. But really look at when that photo was taken and compare that. If you can really, especially in here, see like, hey, when was the last sale date? So you can see this was sold in January or June 2020. Compare when that photo was taken to the last sale date and know, hey, has it changed hands yet or not? And that will really help you determine, okay, is this a good lead or not? Even if it's physically addressed on there. So
beautiful.
Cool. All right, Zach, is there anything you want to add there in terms of like driving for dollars, virtual D4D, anything they covered last week before we jump into the new stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I got some people commenting, obviously, like, I have a water shop list. How do I import that into Deal Machine? I go to freewholesaling.com and I had Matt kind of break that all down, but you just import the list in there and then reverse drive for dollars from there. That's what you want to do, or add that onto your marketing sequence. Yeah, but really, just import them. Not really a big deal. I think everyone knows that though, if going to freewholesaling.com. So.
Yep. Love that question. That's something. So within today, there's a couple different marketing methods we're going to cover today for you guys. One huge one is reverse wholesaling like that. So I'll show, a quick little breakdown of exactly how to do that too. But yeah, freewholesaling.com is going to give you like the full expansive, hey, here's, nuts to bolts, everything you can do here. So, awesome. Any other questions standing out that you want to take right now, or?
Let me check the. Yeah. Let's see. Let me just check the YouTube ones. There's a lot of people excited. Everyone's pumped up. Virtual drawing for dollars for the win. We sort of talked about really in depth last week, and you guys can see the replay again at. You can just go to the Flip with Rick YouTube channel, and then the replay is obviously the Zach and YouTube channel here. But a lot of it was like, where do I find the right leads, right? Where do I find the best areas for drawing for dollars? And we kind of talked about that. So I think everyone kind of has that done. And I'm just excited to get into marketing. But a lot of the marketing was the reverse drawing for dollars. So it's kind of a fun mix.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's kind of a mix of like how do you build a list and how do you market to them for sure. I think a lot of the questions I'm seeing in here too are focused on marketing, like how often should I follow up, that kind of stuff. So I'll try to answer some of those as we go here on the actual week 2 live training here. So again, the goal today is to really get through and do a deep dive on, okay, once you've built that list, what do we do with it? What is playbook step 2? How do we market to that list? How do we really get in front of those sellers? How do we give ourselves the best chance to be the one that they think of when they're ready to sell? And really in the end, that's what you're doing here is like, you're building a list of properties that highly likely at some point they'll be ready to sell because there's signs of physical distress, right? Like that's the number one indicator of a motivated seller, of somebody who, could be a tired landlord that doesn't want to deal with it anymore. Could be an inherited property that, they don't want to deal with. Could be, for so many different reasons. Could be somebody looking to sell, or somebody that has a motivation, a real problem that you can come in and solve. It's just a matter of, are you the one that actually wins that deal? Like, are you the one that they actually talk to and trust and reach out to and have that conversation with when the timing is right? And really, that's our goal with putting this many number of leads into your list. The 100 in the first week was that, hey, the more people you get in front of, it's a leads game. It's a numbers game. It's more people you get in front of, the more opportunities you get to be at bat and be the one that they think of when it's time for them to sell, when it's time, when they actually feel that pain, that need, and want to reach out to somebody to solve that for them. So you've taken that first step. Hopefully I saw a ton of people taking that first step, adding the first 100 leads. Awesome, fantastic. The next step is, what do you do with those leads? How do you be that person that they think of when the timing's right? So playbook step number 2 is marketing to that list. And the thing that we see over and over and over again that leads to success is somebody taking a marketing mix, somebody taking a multi-pronged approach where they're reaching out to people in a couple different ways. And you've got quite a few options. I mean, obviously the Deal Machine doesn't, we're not the only thing out there. You can do, even like paid ads to people or bandit signs or whatever, what have you. Like there's a lot of other creative things you can do. But what we're going to talk about today, especially, is give you some options on, hey, how do we think about these marketing strategies in the most effective way possible? And that would be a 2-pronged marketing mix. Now, what I really talk about there, 2-pronged means, okay, 1 prong would be the short-term one-to-one marketing of, okay, what's something that I personally have to do, that I have to reach out and do myself, and I can't just set it and forget it. I can't just automate it. I have to actually take the time to go out myself and do this one-to-one. I would categorize like calling. I would categorize, texting in a lot of ways, because depends on exactly how you're doing it. But calling, texting, email a lot of times can be like this. Door knocking, for sure. Leaving the sticky note, like we talked about with the reverse D4D. A lot of these one-to-one strategies, it takes time. It takes you getting out there. It takes you putting an effort to go one-to-one to get in touch with them. That's one tier, and that's really, really effective for kind of building that initial relationship, for getting qualifying them quickly, knowing like, hey, are they interested seller or not right now, maybe in the future, like what's the situation they're dealing with, just giving yourself an opportunity to get on their radar to begin with. That's kind of one piece of, the short-term outreach prong. The other side of that would be, the second prong in the strategy is long-term outreach. And that means, what can I set it and forget it? Like, what can I do one to many? What can I do one to the masses? There's plenty of things we can bucket under that. The main thing that we really talk about inside Deal Machine is direct mail. It's postcards. It's how do you put them on a campaign, so that way you can over time reach out to them and do it again and again and again without having to put any extra effort in, without having to do anything else. And that's something that compounds on itself, where, if you've got 100 leads, 200 leads, 300 leads with these marketing touch points from you every, frequently, every so often, those are all at bats. Those are all you putting yourself in front of that person over and over again. And, people are going to respond differently to different outreach methods. Like, some people are going to respond to texts. Some people are going to respond to calls. Some are going to respond to that email or that actual physical mail. Like, they're going to respond differently. So doing a mix of marketing to these people and, doing it over and over again in a way that you can set it and forget it, have that initial outreach, short-term marketing, and then set it and forget it for long-term marketing. That combination, feeding off each other, is just so powerful. So I'll jump into Deal Machine and show this off. Zach, do you have anything else you wanted to add there before I kind of show off the demo portion of this? Or
no, I think a lot of people complicate the marketing. I mean, it's an equation, right? How many times can you reach out to the seller that wants to sell their property? And yeah, there's a lot of ways to look it over, right? Is it better to reach out to 100 people twice or 200 people once, right? It is always going to be better to do 200 people once. But I've always found, especially my direct mail, especially my code violations, my probates, my dragging for dollars, that yes, it's best you're going to get most of the leads from the first initial one, but there's so many of them from the follow-up 2 months later, or a month later, or 3 months later, that's when it's going to be. Like, if I have an ugly house, I might not want to sell right now, but in a month, 2 or 3 months, I'm going to want to sell. So keep following up with them. There's just too much money to be just left on the table but not doing it. But don't act like, I can't do any more marketing because I have to follow up with these people, right? It's always a mix, but these are good leads, right? And yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And the follow-up, I mean, that's absolutely where the deals are made. Like, it's being able to stay top of mind. So you're right place, right time. And we do have plenty of examples. Like, we have one guy who, he was in San Antonio, and literally the fourth person he called, we had it on camera, the fourth person he called, he did a deal with. So it can happen. You can get lucky. You can get right place, right time. But the goal of this is to get a big net of leads make them aware of you, aware of saying like, hey, I'm interested in your property, get in touch whenever you're ready. And then, being able to actually be there when, and the person they think of, because you are the last person that's, been on top of their mind through, any kind of method that you did, especially if it's direct mail. You want to be the one at the top of the mail pile on the fridge. They saved it in their phone, the one that they go to when the timing's right. So to show this off specifically inside Deal Machine, it's, again, everything we do, our one line mission is to give everyone the power of real estate investing. So with that mission, like, we want to be extremely simple and easy to use. So it's not crazy being able to go from here and actually take action on this stuff. But, say we added leads, we built our list of leads here. Every time you tag a property, you see like this blue pin pop up. That means it's added to your list. Anything you tag on the desktop, it, also adds to your mobile too. So they all combine into one really quick and easy. And you can view this leads tab on either or the mobile app or the desktop app. But when I jump into the leads tab right here, I can see, hey, I've got 12,000 leads in Deal Machine. This is one I've used quite a bit. You can go in here and right on the spot, you've got both of those options. You've got the long-term and the short-term marketing options. So, the short-term, the immediate quick feedback loop is you can hit skip trace right here. And, you can do this one-off and it's going to give you premium data. It's going to give you, email addresses and tell you, hey, these are, deliverable or verified or not, undeliverable, really give you some options there. And you can send an email or, copy that email and, send that off right there. It's going to give you phone numbers. So you'll be able to jump in and see, hey, is this number connected? Is it disconnected? Is it on the do not call list? Is it on landline? Is it mobile? What's the caller ID? So you can really go in here and figure out, hey, out of these numbers, what is the best number to call right away? And, you can copy that phone number and make that call. So you've got kind of your direct one-to-one outreach right there, covered through the one-off skip tracing. You can do this in bulk, really simple and easy. So you can just go up to this top left corner, select all on the page, or select all, 12,000 of my leads right here, and then hit lead actions and skip trace leads. So you can do that in bulk. Make sure you're budgeting for that, right? Like a skip trace is, depends on the plan you're on. It's anywhere from like 12 cents to 19 cents with us. But when you go through this, like the skip traces, we're trying to hook you up and give you as many free ones as possible. So I know if people go through, it's dmzack.com, or again, if you email me, matt@dealmachine.com with the homework from week one, we'll hook you up with like free marketing credits either way. So, we want to, and then those marketing credits go toward the skip tracing, go towards the mail. So, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to get out there and start talking to people like this. But, the goal is, hey, jump in and you can one-off skip trace and give a call, a text, an email, all of that right on the spot. So that's kind of your one-off, option right there. And then, direct mail is the, like I mentioned, that's the set it and forget it option right inside Deal Machine. You can do one-off mail right there. So you can hit start mail, and it gives you an hour before it actually gets sent. So I'll make sure to pause this before I actually send the mailer. But you can go in here and you can see like, hey, I can go in. I can go in and I can customize the template. Go in and customize my postcard so that way, you've got quite a few, like 10 different postcards right off the bat inside your Deal Machine account. Then you can use these different designs and use that to be able to really, change what's going to be sent to that person, and really go in here and see, hey, yeah, this is going to send direct mail to them, and it's going to send it every 21 days. So you can go in and adjust that as well. You can go in and say, hey, I want to send them, a certain type of postcard, a certain type of design every so often. And again, the whole goal of this is to really set it and forget it, really set it. So that way you are not having to over and over and over again, jump into Deal Machine and figure out, okay, who do I need to send mail to, and hit that send mail button again. But you want to be able to have this snowball and set it and forget it. And that way you are the one that's staying top of mind and really having those touch points with them and sending to them over and over and over again. So it's really simple and easy to do that inside the app, either one off, in bulk, same exact way of clicking on that top left corner and going in and hit start mail. Let me pause this for people for myself here real quick too. And then you can really go in and manage your mail in general inside Deal Machine with this mail tab up here, Or if you click on that, you can go to, postcards to see all these different designs that you've got to work with, be able to tweak those, be able to really, create new ones, whether it be, different sizing. You can go in and create even handwritten letters, if you want to get really fancy here, which that's going to give you like a 3x response rate on average based on our data. So you'll be able to go in and they're more expensive, but actually send out handwritten postcards every so often if you want to take that route. We're the only ones who offer that, actually. The one-off, usually you have to go buy those in bulk to be able to do those. So you've got quite a few things here to be able to kind of customize that mail. And then inside the mail center up here, you can really go in and budget that and figure out like, hey, how many postcards do I have sent and how many do I have scheduled and how much am I going to spend on that, and really use this as kind of your home base to be able to know and plan out, hey, what's my best mail outreach strategy. So that's really the goal here is, again, do the one-off direct marketing, the skip tracing, things like that. Do the mail, to set it and forget it, to send things that are going to really get their attention. And I'll share the reverse D4D here in a minute and a few pro tips around that. But Zach, do you have any other tips there before I jump into that?
No, I love the direct mail, right? Like obviously the cost is a lot more, and if you can't afford it, don't do it, obviously, but it's going to be the best way, right? Like, and we have our own postcards. We do tell everyone to do too, but like you can use whatever one, as long as you're sending something out and doing marketing out to an ugly house is never going to go wrong, right? There's a million ways to market to a seller. There's a million, right? You can text blast this list, you can call the list, right? Reverse D4D it, like you do. Guys, I just want everybody to understand that, like, don't get all freaked out of which one you have to do. You don't have to do all of them, right? It's whatever works best for you. And if you send mail out, you should know how to answer the mail and do it the right way. So again, wholesaling.com will write that down. But yeah, just understand, the guys, that like, you have to just take the action, right? And if you overthink it, you're not going to do well.
Yep. Yeah, we want to keep it simple. I'm giving you a lot of options, so keep it simple as much as you possibly can. Like, Zach, like for example, you said, hey, if we want to go with your guys' mail options, awesome. Just hit select all right here, and then you can go in and actually hit lead actions and export those leads, and then import them into anything else outside of this and be able to start mailing there. Like that's great too. Whatever the system that's easy for you to come up with and take action on and do over and over again, that's what's going to win out. It's that consistent action. It's being able to be following up over and over again. So you're gonna have to take action to begin with, and you'll learn as you go. But as you do that, you'll find your own way that this will work. You'll find your own system. On future trainings, I'll teach you guys like, hey, here's systems that have worked for other people in terms of how to make sure no leads fall through the cracks, how to make sure that you're really building great relationships with sellers. So we'll cover that in the future too. But as simple as it is, build the list and then market to that list. Keep that the playbook of straightforward. Okay, how do I keep adding leads to my list, and how do I keep reaching out to them regardless of what the outreach method is? So that's wanted to start there. Couple quick pro tips. One, when you do add leads, so let me go back to the drive tab really quick here. When you do add a lead, so say I'm driving down the street and I see this property and I say, hey, yeah, it looks like a qualified lead in real life. When I hit add lead right there, it'll actually prompt you inside the app with this take a picture button. When you do that, that actually is going to greatly, and you roughly about double your response rate, because when you take a picture, it tags that picture onto that lead for you. And that picture actually automatically appears on the postcard that if you send them direct mail. So if I hit start mail, whenever I do that, the mail that pops up, this is going to be a picture of their house that you took. And it's going to say, hey, is this your property? And really, give you a chance to say, oh, wow, they drove, it really piques their interest if you drove past their house. So that's one pro tip that we see really increase response rates. The other one is, I know Zach's talked about reverse D4D. Let me show that off here really quick for you guys. And we showed it off briefly last week too, but going into the leads tab right here, when you go in, say you have a list from anywhere else, any other technology, anything else you've done, if it's a spreadsheet, what have you, you can just really quickly, easily hit add leads and import list right here. And when you hit import list, you can just add an Excel sheet, a CSV file, really a couple different files where you upload that list, and it kind of helps you map the address here and a few other data points right here. And the key thing is the address. But when you've got that, like for example, here's a list right here, I believe, that I've done that with. And, I've gone in and, you can even use our own list builder and do it this way too. But the idea of reverse driving for dollars is making it so that you can go in person. I recommend using it as a way to score the leads too. Say you have a list that you don't know if the houses are physically distressed or not. Like, you can use it as a way to drive by and mark them as high priority if it's got, it's a fixer upper, because, like, hey, this property, now I know it's, it was on my old list, but now I know, hey, it's physically distressed too. So, hey, this could be a even higher priority lead, right? But the key with this is, once you've uploaded a list like this, there's this drive this list button, and this is for our route tools upgrade. So the way Deal Machine is structured, I saw somebody ask about this, is that we've got kind of like our basic, pro, and teams, like kind of initial Deal Machine package to just go out and drive. And then if you are going to use any of our advanced features, we make it so you can just upgrade to those advanced features, because we want to make it so that it's simple and easy to use the basic stuff. But then if you're ready for an advanced upgrade, that it's easy to do that too. So like Mail's got an advanced upgrade, route tools that I'm talking about, it's got an advanced upgrade. I know List Builder is an advanced upgrade. So we've got a couple options there of making sure that you can make it really simple and easy to just use our most basic stuff. But then if you are advanced enough and you feel ready to upgrade to something and invest in that, then and do a deep dive in a certain area, that it just gives you kind of a la carte options there. So hopefully that helps. Andrew was asking that question, but one of those a la carte options is route tools, and that's the reverse driving for dollars portion. And going in here, again, I've got a list that I've imported, got that tab pulled up. This drive this list button right here, when I hit that, it's going to go, and on my phone, you can't really see it that well on desktop, but on my phone, it'll import GPS right there and say, hey, I've got 52 properties on this list. It's going to take me 2 hours and 15 minutes to drive this list. Would you like to drive this right now? And it's going to take you the fastest route possible to automatically import GPS and say, hey, go here, turn here, go here, turn here, go here. And then it'll take you through every single one of these properties in this list. So that way you can go drive by them. Again, score the lead. If it's physically distressed when you drive past it, say, awesome, cool, let me tag it and add it as high priority, because I know that it's on top of being on this other list that I imported, it's also got signs of being a fixer upper, right? But then in addition to that, the most powerful thing is, okay, now I can door knock, I can add a sticky note, I can use the time that I am by going in person to them and really take that next step that other people won't, and really give yourself the opportunity to stand out, to build a relationship, to really get to know this person, and have a much, much better chance for them to trust you over somebody else if you've already built that relationship. So any other reverse D4D tips there, Zach? Or
I mean, just go after it. That's it. I don't want to complicate it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I give a lot of details. You make it easy. So there we go. All right. So awesome. So to kind of recap really quick here, again, you want to do the short-term marketing, or you want to do that two-pronged approach, right? You've got short-term one-off outreach of like, how do I one-to-one get in front of them, build that relationship, stand out. So you've got, calling, texting, door knocking, sticky notes. You've got a lot of things that I would qualify under that. There's plenty more, but let's keep it simple and straightforward here. And then long-term marketing is the set it and forget it. It's the automated marketing that you can do over time, that you don't have to continuously do yourself, but you can just click one button and it'll go over and over again. So direct mail, postcards, through Deal Machine, that's one great example of that. So, that combination of two-pronged approach is the most successful investors. That's what we're seeing them do. And the money's in the follow-up. The money is staying top of mind and making sure that you're the one they think of when the timing's right.
Exactly.
Awesome. One little thing to back that up, looking at the data, this is super powerful. Showing like from a direct mail standpoint, if you have one outreach to somebody, even if they're going to sell, if it's a great deal, if it's a great property on your list, you're still missing out on the deal almost 85% of the time if you've only followed up once, if you've only sent the one postcard. If you've only sent 3, you're still missing out on over half of the deals, 52.4% of the deals. So that's just showing you like, hey, it takes that follow-up. It takes consistency. It takes getting in touch with them over and over. The default on Deal Machines every 3 weeks. The longest I would go ideally is say, hey, put them on a 6-month campaign every 5 weeks, follow up with them. just because the 6 months is going to put you in the upper tier of this data to show you, okay, I've had a lot of touch points with them. And then 5 weeks is going to still help you be roughly once a month, but it'll be different times of the month. So that way you give yourself a different chance to get in front of them. For whatever reason, if they're beginning of the month, if they just aren't paying attention to mail or something, gives you a chance to hit them at different points in the month. So just from a best practices standpoint, I think about it that way. But, we wanted to just break it down for you guys, give you that recap. I'll get into the homework here in a second, but Zach, do you see any good questions coming through before we get to the week 2 homework?
Let's see. Just a lot of questions. We get the Q&A after.
Yeah, we can do Q&A after. That's totally fine.
Let's do a Q&A after. Yeah, I'm getting some good questions, not specifically on what we're talking about.
Okay, awesome, man. So before we jump into that, week 2 homework, and I know you talked about last time, like, hey, we wanted to start people off easy. We wanted to, give them, help them ease into it, help them get used to this, and then really continue to crank it up and help people, get fired up and get out there and build momentum and continue to build on it. So week 2 homework is add another 100 driving for dollars leads. And again, we're telling you this many because this will get you to that first deal formula. It'll get you to the amount that in these 30 days that we see, hey, most markets that you're in, you'll have that deal in your list of leads. You'll have that first deal if you hit this number threshold of number of leads. So another 100, so 200 total is the goal here at this point, which we did have some overachievers in the group. I saw folks say, I hit 300, I hit 400. Like, that's awesome. Don't slow down. Keep doing what you're doing. But the minimum requirement here is 200 leads. And then the goal is, okay, let's complete 2 marketing methods to each of those leads. So let's complete, again, we gave that list here of, calling, texting, door knocking, sticky notes, postcards. You've got plenty of options even beyond this, but the goal to be able to get to that first deal, it's okay, let's put ourselves on their radar and let's do 2 different marketing methods to get to that. Let's do 2 different things for each individual lead. That could be a call and text. That could be a call and a postcard. It could be a sticky note and a postcard. It could be, whatever the combo is, just pick 2 things and do that to your list. And, it's going to take a little more time. It's going to take a little more effort to go do that. Like, you have to go 1-to-1, put some time into this. But, that's the goal for this week is, okay, week 2 homework, continue to be doing a great job of building that list, getting to the number of leads you need, and then combine that with, okay, consistent marketing. Let's start with getting out there and reaching out to people. So that'll be the week 2 homework right here. Again, dmzac.com is going to get you a free trial of Deal Machine. It'll get you a bunch of free marketing credits. That'll cover a bunch of this marketing itself. Everything we're doing in this challenge is free, but if you're going to invest in yourself, Deal Machine, we want to hook you up with free marketing credits to do that, and just let you try us out. Be able to do that for free. And then the other thing we've shared this with people throughout this is a deal just for this challenge is, hey, if you're like, hey, yeah, I'm wanting to commit to this for the long term, wanting to commit to this for over the next 12 months. If I want to do this more than a couple months, I really want to focus and double down and be able to fully commit to this, then okay, awesome. This is going to be the best deal that you'll find doing that. It's much better. Like, if you just went to our website, it's actually going to be 45% off, 45 or 55, it says on the next slide. Where you actually go in, you get our starter package. So you get our Deal Machine starter stuff, which is the driving for dollars, the virtual driving for dollars, add up to 10,000 leads, all the MLS data. You can skip trace and postcards, use tags, tasks, notes, our comps tool, all that stuff. And then you get that upgrade I was talking about, that route tools, where it gives you the reverse driving for dollars, the map highlights, the route tracking, all the bells and whistles of the pro tips of what we went over today. Give you all that stuff, give you a bunch of free marketing credits, $35 worth. And yeah, it's 55% off. So that'd be $590 for the entire year. Again, this is going to be way better. Going through our site, it'd be $1331 normally. So if you're going to fully commit and fully invest in yourself and say, yeah, I'm going to do this for the next 12 months, I'm going to go do that first deal and do many beyond that, go through that link, because that's going to hook you up much more. So wanted to make sure to share that with people, Zach, but let's get into Q&A, and happy to knock that out and answer stuff for people and show anything off that people want to see.
Yeah, man, I'm excited, dude. Everyone's got to get their butts into work. So it's all about the marketing, right? That's the part that's not as sexy as finding the ugly house, is actually just doing the work with it, right? Mm-hmm. And the key here is consistency. So if you guys got to make a plan what you're going to do. So if I have 100 drawing for dollars leads a week, I would reach out to them once and then really see if you can reach out to them again in a month or 2 months from now, right? And I think so many people, they're like, oh, I don't have enough time. I would probably reach out to in another way, kind of like you said, the short term, right? So maybe you call the list and maybe you text the list a month later or 2 months later, right? Whatever you do, and then direct mail, obviously, right? So like that's kind of the approach my company has, right? We have a big high equity list for, let's say, Port St. Lucie. We'll text blast the list, we'll cold call the list a month later, and then a month after that, we'll direct mail. And we always pull leads out of the same list, because if you attack something from a different angle, maybe that's how you get it, right? I've had sellers where they have never gotten a deal from them, but only if I call them, and vice versa, where they don't answer the phone, but they'll answer the text, right? Or the direct mail. Each one's so much different. And so the more you can attack a list, the better. And so the more you can go after it, it increases your odds of getting that deal.
Love it, man. Yeah. And do you, I know when you guys are reaching out to leads like that, I mean, one question I did have, and I saw this a couple times in the Q&A here too. Do you have a length of time that you really put them on for your guys' campaigns of like, hey, we try to reach out for 6 months, 12 months, or anything like that? If they're unresponsive, or
I keep it for about a year.
Okay.
And I think you kind of redrive the same area after a year, right? So
Yep.
That's the way I always look at it.
Yep. Yeah. 6 to 12 months is recommended on my end. Depends. Obviously you want to budget for that. Like you want to make sure to know that if you're going to send out, postcards for 6 months, that's going to be a different cost than it would be for 3 months and all that. Right. So as long as you're being smart about the budgeting, I think that's a great way to think about it. One thing, actually, I know when you talked about like kind of that mix of marketing as well, one thing that we've seen increase response rate too is if you refer to your other marketing touch points, that actually really helps. So if you can say, say you call them and you shoot them a text later and say, hey, I gave you a call the other day, I had a question about your property, give me a call back. Or, if you put that in a postcard, said, hey, I left you a sticky note the other day, wanted to get in touch. Like if you refer to those other things, it just lowers their guard a little bit more of, their familiarity with you might be spiked a little bit. So
that'll work too.
Just a little pro tip there. Awesome. Let's see, looking through the questions here too. If someone is driven by a property, we don't share leads between members, so it will not show you that, Katrina. Let's see, Denise, if you reach out to support, if you just go through the support chat, our support actually answers in 4 minutes or less. So that any questions around the app, that's going to be the quickest way to get in touch and really make sure they help you with your specific account. Let's see. Do you see anything else, Zach, on your end in terms of questions to tackle?
Yeah, I'm just going by the ones, a lot of these questions. So I have a virtual deal, probate. I followed up with the representative. She said the title is going to be transferred from her dad to all 5 siblings, all old school. Do I need them to sign? Or yeah, you need all the heirs to sign on the probate. Ed says, is Deal Machine a CRM? It can be a CRM, right? I prefer you keep your leads in Deal Machine or export them onto Google Drive just in case or whatever. But I still want you to have a CRM like Podio, where someone says they want to sell, they need to be in a separate category. Because Deal Machine, you might get 500 really ugly houses, but maybe out of those, you'll get 5 people that just want to sell it. Like they're interested, they want an offer. That should be on Podio, because then there's following up on drawing for dollars leads, then there's following up on offers, and then following up on appointments, right? So yeah, that's what I'd say from there. How long should I keep?
As I mentioned, a future training, we'll talk about how to follow up with leads and things, as well. So make sure to keep tuned on next Monday as well. So. Yeah,
I mean, Katrina, I would not be worried if if a competition drives by the property. If you have our script, you're going to whoop their butts. I mean, that's honestly the truth. If you have the speed, you'll do fine. Let's see, trying to find the direct link. Yeah, just go to Flip with Rick on YouTube for the first one, and then Zachin for the second one. So let's see here.
Here's the homework for everybody again.
Yeah. So if you leave a door hanger on the door, I would probably give them 2 months. And that's honestly what I've seen. Melissa wants to know how many users can be in one account.
Yeah, so you've got our starter is 1 user, our pro is 5 users. So that would be like if you want to add people to go drive around for you, if like bird dog, essentially, that would be an easy way to add them, or have multiple people on your one account. You can also, as the team owner, or the owner of the first one on Deal Machine, when you invite other people, you can adjust their settings too. So like say you were hiring someone to be a bird dog, you could just make their settings so that way they can only add leads, and then you have to approve the leads and actually market to the leads yourself. So that way they're not like skip tracing or sending mail or anything like that for you. So yeah, it depends on the level of account, I would say, Melissa.
Yeah, Shay says I use my free marketing credits to send postcards. That's awesome.
Nice.
Let's see. Got some other support questions. Let's see here. Yeah, I would not use your LLC for a contractor business for wholesaling, and vice versa. The Podio deals in freewholesaling.com. It's free. Like Podio is free. I did my sticky note. Should I include? No, just go to freewholesaling.com and use it. It's, hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question about your house. Please give me a call back. That's pretty much it. I really don't want to really complicate it. And then looking on YouTube here, Mustache Mike says, what's your opinion on winter states during the winter snow? Should you go virtual? Should you not? Can you D4D? What's your opinion on that? Because you've seen it all over the country.
For sure. Yeah. It's so there's a couple of things in the winter in general. That's a great time to be getting rolling because it's a less competitive time. Like you see less people actually, taking the action and getting out there. So you're putting yourself in a position that there's still people with problems to solve then. Like there's still possibly more at that time. So it's, you're able to be competing in a less competitive market. There are a few signs, like obviously be safe while you're doing this stuff. Two, if you're driving and you're looking and seeing, like, say it's a fresh snow on the ground, one thing is like, hey, if it's not being taken care of, it's not being shoveled, there's no footprints, all that, like those can be indicators that it's a good house. Like there are other things, seasonally that you can look for to help kind of qualify leads, to help look for a house to reach out to. But I think the winter in general is a great time because it's going to be less competitive. So,
awesome. Shout out to Olivia, 500 leads. That's awesome. Love to see it. Love to see it. Some people in the comments on YouTube, they got their first deal locked up. Love to see that stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, honestly. Oh, it's my thing. Just gallery. There we go. Yeah, like honestly, what I've always seen is the people that can just take the action out here and start marketing to it. That's the point. So I don't want to leave anyone hanging, but like I would say for most people, if you have no money right now, I would definitely just get the phone number and skip trace it and then just cold call them, right? That's going to be your best bet if you have the hustle and the time. You can start adding in extra things like there. You can do the reverse drawing for dollars. You can do the SMS. You can do the postcards, right? But I think for most people starting out, if you don't have the money, I would probably call. And then from there, you can use the other ways around it.
For sure. Yeah. And I see quite a few people asking, like, there's obviously a lot of different tech out there for real estate investors. I think where we really hang our hat on and what we really point to just objectively is looking at our ratings and reviews versus anything else out there, and being able to say like, hey, we're the highest rated app for real estate investors, 4.7, 4.8 out of 5, over 4,000 reviews combined between Google Store and at the App Store. We're on our end, everything we do is focused on giving everyone the power of real estate investing. So we're focused on simplicity, on being super easy to use, on being able to jump into it and go right away, and being mobile first, because we know you're on the go. And if you're going to drive for dollars, the mobile app's got to be killer. And if you look at our updates versus any other mobile app out there, we update extremely frequently, and it's not just bugs, it's new features, and it's being able to listen to you guys and continue to evolve the product to fit that. So I think between our community, our support, some of our features, but in the end, it's like, how well are we making people successful? Well, we point to our ratings and reviews for that. So I had a few people ask that. I wanted to kind of touch on that for you too, Zach.
But yeah, I mean, it's ultimately up to you, like whatever one you want to use. Yeah. So I always give that to everybody, but if you're drawing for dollars, I'd probably use Deal Machine, and that's just my opinion on it. But I'm saying it forever. So guys, you just got to take the action out here. Like we can sit around and talk about driving for dollars all day, but like, you got to go out here and do it. And that's what I see on the group, right? I see so many people out here actually doing it, and I love it, right? I'm actually blown away by the amount of people that are going out here doing it. I can even show the new ones that hop on here. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm just trying to, we're out here. Just want to show everybody on here, share my screen real quick, show y'all. But like, I love seeing this stuff, right? Like, I mean, we got Moses out here doing well. We got Dan crazy with it. Let's go to new posts. Here, that's a great one right here. You know, that little script right there. See here. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. For some reason, can't see you.
Oh,
here we go. That's better.
I think it crashed for a second. I don't know what. All right.
Looks like we're still rolling. There we go.
Yeah. So, I mean, even if you see it right here, where is it? Yeah. I mean, this one had a code violation on it, right? So like this stuff absolutely is, it works. So I just want everybody watching this to know that like the people, if you find these ugly houses, you're going to get more leads than if you did it without doing it, right? And that's the point. Like these ugly houses, just go in the Facebook group and look at it. You're going to get the leads that nobody else in your market's going to get to. And this is going to give you the best success rate. Like I can't absolutely guarantee you go to dmzack.com, you start driving for dollars, you will guarantee get $20,000, right? You have to do it right. And like I've said, Deal Machine is a shovel. It is a tool. You can dig with your hands, right? But a shovel makes it a lot easier. And that is sort of the point. But the thing is, as long as you're digging, you're coming closer to that goal of what you have to do. And the more ugly houses you get to, the best, right? How many leads should I call? Like I get that question all the time, especially for this one, right? Call as many as you possibly can, right? How bad do you want to get your first deal? If you want to get the first deal now, if you want to absolutely guarantee your success, do the amount of leads that when I hop on, I'm like, wow, you know what? I'm wrong. I've never had somebody hop on to me and they've said, Zach, I did 2,000 drawing for dollars leads. I used your script. I used skip tracing. I did all this and I didn't get a deal. I've never found one person that did. Because it's almost impossible not to get a deal doing it. Even if you're terrible at wholesaling, if you do that many deals, you'll get a deal. That many leads, you'll get a deal. So the point is, guys, get to work.
Love it, man. Yeah, like I said, don't let us hold you back in terms of number of leads. We said by the homework for this week is get to 200 leads total. Reach out to them at least 2 different ways to each one of those leads. But if you go beyond that, like go for it. We want to hold you back. So always appreciate coming on, Zach. This has been awesome, man. I'm again, we're going to be doing these every single Monday, all these live trainings, these live streams. But any way I can be a resource, again, my email's matt@dealmachine, matt@dealmachine.com. And then, tried to, give you guys a little bit of a bribe there who's actually following along. Like if you can show me you've added 100 leads and you have if you have a Deal Machine account, right? Email me direct with that screenshot and we'll hook you up with $10 free too, just to get you rolling on these skip traces and postcards and all that stuff. So
love it. No one should have an excuse not to be marketing right now. So get after it, guys.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. Anything else, Matt?
I think we're ready to go, man. Let's we'll do it again next Monday. And in the meantime, happy deal finding, everybody. Get out there and make things happen, like Zach said.
All right. And for everyone that wants to post some more accountability posts too, so I'll give this to everybody watching this. If you want, I want everybody to screenshot, if you use a dialer, if you use anything, just screenshot the amount of calls you have done, the amount of texts you have sent, the amount of postcards you've gotten. If you can just show any type of marketing you're doing as an accountability, that'd be good, right? Even if you post like, hey, I got 100 contacts and I got 5 people wanting to say yes. Just show some proof of it, some accountability on it, and just be accountable to yourself, right? Like, guys, this is free, right? Like, this is free coaching. So I could probably charge $1,000 for this little challenge, but I do it for free. So guys, show some accountability, get taking action, and be accountable for yourself.
Love it, man. I'm fired up.